And so one of the first places people heard about the birth certificate issue was here. Okay, and I also had, who's the guy that wrote The Late Great USA on over and over again about it? I'm having one of those moments. Dr. Jerome Corsi. I have had constant. I just don't hammer it because I can prove he's lying about torture, that he wouldn't do it, or hiring lobbyists, or new wars, or the Patriot Act that he would get rid of. And so in Fall of the Republic and in Obama deception, we don't get into that because I wanted it to be things that were 100%. Now, you're missing the boat here. I am not criticizing Deborah Medina for saying that 9/11 truthers are despicable. That's pretty bad. The issue is she said that we were good, healthy people asking serious questions. She asked questions about the towers. We have a right over and over and over and over again, daring back after back, and then flip-flopped. It's flip-flopping. I've always said I don't know about the birth certificate. There's a lot of evidence, but they're covering it up, that he isn't a citizen. So if I wasn't clear on that, I'm sorry. But it's a totally different issue. Now, what do you say to that, Harold?
Okay, you've had Rick Perry for 14 years, and
10.
You know where he stands. Deborah Medina, I agree. I was very disappointed to hear her say what she said. I was very disappointed to hear you say you were not a birther. She said she's not a truther.
No, I don't.
So, you know, what I'm saying here is I would like to hear a real comprehensive airing of both of these stands personally.
Well, let me ask you a question. When did you hear me say I've said I wouldn't call myself, I remember saying that, a complete birther, saying a birther believes he wasn't born here. I'm saying there's a cover-up, and it may be true, and we've investigated. I've only said I'm investigating. And I just don't think you even heard what I just said to you. It's the saying 9/11 truth is a legitimate research position, and then saying it's despicable a week and a half later. That's my issue, sir. And I've been saying that since yesterday. That's why I'm concerned. But you know what? I've already meant to do this. I want to get Phil Berg back on. We have a video interview we've done that I want to put up for PrisonPlanet.tv members. Just we're bogged down trying to finish up Burmes's film. It's excellent film. We're just on that. And I have actually been doing research. See, I'm not sure about Joseph Stack, but a lot of evidence points towards it being an inside job with the kamikaze attack. So we're looking at that. I wasn't sure for a week or so about the underwear bomber. That doesn't mean I'm not saying it couldn't be an inside job. We're here collating the information. But I appreciate your question, Harold. And you're specifically saying you'd like to hear Deborah Medina on her website or on this show or some other show give a complex, detailed answer like I just gave on the birther issue. And I think that's totally legitimate. But you're missing the forest for the trees, though, on why I'm concerned. And nothing to do with whether she's a 9/11 truther or not. And I've been saying that since yesterday when I broached this subject. More calls, tons of news straight ahead.
We're on the march. The empire's on the run. Alex Jones and the GCN Radio Network.
This is Alex Jones with 5 good reasons you should consider buying a solar power generator. Number 1, new climate legislation could easily double or triple your electric bill. Number 2, our new energy czar wants to control how much power your electric company allows you to have. It's true. Total government control of electricity in the name of smart grid technology is coming. Number 3, in some areas of the country, the power grid is dangerously overloaded. And now new socialist legislation is only compounding the problem. Number 4, dangerous weather is always a threat to local grids. Every year, thousands of families lose their power from weather-related outages. Number 5, a solar power generator provides powerful backup insurance and peace of mind. Folks, I really believe in the solar power generators offered by Solutions from Science, one of my oldest sponsors. You can get more information at www.mysolarbackup.com. That's mysolarbackup.com. Remember, the government doesn't own the sun, so go to mysolarbackup.com or call 1-877-327-0365. Hundreds of nations have fallen to tyranny in the last century alone. This is our last chance to not relive history.
As they're finishing off this agenda, they'll be pulling the rug from underneath Americans at home.
They have tremendous influence on our president and Congress, and they really are calling the shots.
I think it's incumbent upon all of us as American citizens to pay attention.
Fall of the Republic identifies the enemies of our nation, the criminal offshore cartel, hell-bent on destroying sovereignty, and on its ashes constructing world government.
Tim Geithner, Bernanke, they're arsonists. They're asking for more matches. And the Congress is saying, who do we make the check out to?
Today, it seems like nobody does care. And right now in Washington, D.C., we have seen a fall of the Republic.
Get your copy of Fall of the Republic on DVD at Infowars.com or watch it online right now in super high quality at PrisonPlanet.tv.
Afraid to answer it? Afraid to answer your door? Did you know that debt settlement, bankruptcy, and attorneys will cost you about 10 times more than you would legally be required to pay creditors? These are not ways to help you get out of debt. They are expensive payment plans. And if you're in debt already, does it make sense to load yourself up with another payment plan? Zero debt in 90 days gets you out of debt in 90 days, guaranteed. And that's the website you need to visit right now, ZeroDebtGuaranteed.com. Zero debt in 90 days gets you out of debt without a payment plan and without attorneys or going to court. ZeroDebtGuaranteed.com is the quickest solution to debt relief on the planet. If you have more than $25,000 in credit card debt, student loans, or difficult mortgage situation, we can help, and we are the only organization to provide written guarantees on the results. Go to ZeroDebtGuaranteed.com. That's ZeroDebtGuaranteed.com.
Before you slip into unconsciousness, I'd like to have another kiss,
Rasmussen, over the last 3 days before this latest gaffe came out, and no one likes indecision or flip-flopping, they conducted a poll on Monday and Tuesday over a 2-day period. It came out this morning, Dallas Morning News, that Medina is now at 16 points. She was at 24, slid to 20 in the last 2 weeks, slid to 16, and other polls are showing similar. Hutchinson is slipping, and Perry is, Republican voters mainline want to feel like they're winners. And see, when Beck said, you're not a winner, you can't win, they said, well, we don't want to vote for somebody who isn't a winner. And then I guess the Medina people just panicked and said, we hate the truthers. In fact, the guys are in there watching her on CNN. Did you guys ever find out in that transcript whether she went after birthers? Because that'll be another example. I believe I brought birther stuff up to her before, and she said people have a right to investigate. Will they be despicable like Glenn Beck says? Glenn Beck says you're despicable and bad if you're a birther. I say more power to you. It's your right to research it. Looks like there's something there. But here it is, latest Rasmussen poll. Perry, 48. Hutchinson, 27. Medina, 16. If he gains another 2 points, ladies and gentlemen, in fact, go to the Dallas Morning News and click on the Rasmussen itself. I want to put the actual Rasmussen up on. Yeah, it's right here. It says latest Rasmussen poll, Perry 48, Hutchinson 27, Medina 16, by Mike Hashimoto. And it says the Rasmussen poll in the Texas gubernatorial primary is out, and the news appears pretty good for Governor Rick Perry, who has picked up 4 points to 48% since the start of the month compared to the last two Rasmussen polls. Kay Bailey Hutchinson is down 2 points from 29-27, but interestingly, Deborah Medina is polling at the same 16% as she was before she briefly lost her mind on Glenn Beck's 911 truther inquisition. Well, that's not right. She was above 20 then. With early voting underway, Rasmussen asked those who voted already which way they went. The answer, Perry 49, Hutchinson 24, Medina 20. See, she was at 20 or above before. It's too bad. Perry is very close to avoiding a runoff, which could save his campaign a fair bit of money that could also to apply to the general election against Bill White. That said, it will be interesting to see if any Democrats take Paul Bucka's suggestion and cross over to vote for Hutchinson, thereby increasing chances of a Perry weakening runoff. For Mark Davis, take on the primaries, and a couple of out-of-state representatives visit, and it's got the link to that. Isn't Mark Davis the radio talk show host? Yeah, he writes for them. He's the one that threw Medina under the bus again in the last few days. Even after she denied anything decent with 9/11 Truth, he then attacked her again and said, well, that just shows you don't have good judgment. And again, this is a great example for people in other states. When you run for governor or run for state legislature, don't end up this way. Don't flip-flop. Don't do this. Look, if she would have said, look, the commission says investigate. I'm only questioning. The majority of Americans in this poll do, Glenn. What are you afraid of questions? She wouldn't then have lost all the 9/11 truther votes. People got mad at her press release she put out that day 2 weeks ago and the rest of it, and I defended her and said, that's okay.